Fuck us out, Tucson, make some noise!
Oh, we're rolling?
Whatever you guys want.
I apologize.
Texting while during the interview.
I know, it's so rude.
You kids and your damn stuff. Alright, how'd the set go?
Set was amazing.
Yeah?
It went super well. I'm just very happy to be able to play with talented musicians like Andy and Chris. Shout out to Lasso and Deep Greasy. So it went well.
Nice.
And like, it's surreal going on before Thundercat. You know, it's
it's crazy.
it's cool. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It was an unforgettable set.
Yeah.
Unforgettable.
Cool. Alright, so you just released your second album like a couple months ago, right?
Yeah. The Boy Who Spoke to the Wind.
Boy Who Spoke to the Wind. Yeah. How's that? How the sales doing so far?
It's percolating well, man. I'm excited. It's definitely like a slow burn.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hard for people to really get. It's not like it's hard for people to get into it, but it's really a different departure from Mark Your Son as far as sonically, and lyrically, and just mood-wise, it's very different. So the accessibility for Mark Your Son is very, immediate. To whereas like The Boy Who Spoke to the Wind, you really have to sit with it and learn, and breathe and grow with the music and with the words.
Okay.
So it's going well so far.
Yeah. Did you purposely set out to be more experimental in that way, or did it just kind of happen?
Yes and no. I think it just kind of happened. One, because of the people I work with. They're just the type of musicians like Andy and Chris who like to push boundaries, but also like that's a natural thing they do.
Yeah. Okay.
So it everything we did for the new album, it didn't sound forced, and it wasn't forced. It was just very. It was like reading the book you needed to read at the time that you needed to read it.
Okay.
You know, and so you progress and grow just as when you needed to read that book. You know. So
absolutely.
I'm excited. I'm excited for the tunes.
Yeah. Is this how long have you been playing with the live band?
For about, I'd say like a year and a half to 2 years.
Okay.
First time Andy came up to me and was like, I would love to play with you and make some music, and then Chris shortly after, and so we've been playing for a while now.
Yeah. Did you find that pretty easy to do, or did it take a little adjusting?
I think at the time it took a little time just because I'd never performed with a live band.
Yeah.
As far as musicians that are as, I'd say, composed and experienced as Chris and Andy. But I feel as though it's become a lot more natural. It's what I'd rather do other than playing to a track. You know, I love playing live. Right. I love having the ability to, improvise and sort of elongate songs and go with the flow and the rhythm. I don't know. I'm just really thankful for being privileged enough to have a band, to have people who really enjoy the music and vibe with it too, but also believe in it. So, it's cool. It's a godsend, definitely.
Yeah. It makes for. I mean, you feel the energy when you're performing with versus somebody who has just a DJ or something. It does create a very different energy. So.
It does. It does.
So you're on. Are you still in Mellow Music?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. How did that deal come about?
I was lucky enough to be featured on the cover of Tucson Weekly in a story written by Heather Hoke. So shout out to Heather for that, and shout out to Tucson Weekly for being awesome enough to put me on the cover.
Yeah.
But I was put on the cover, and the label head saw the cover and was like, okay, cool. Well, there's a local musician who's a hip hop artist who's on the cover of a local magazine, a local newspaper. I might as well check it out. And so he listened to the tunes and liked it enough for him to really want to sign me. And it was really the message and the intent with which he signed me. He heard from Mark Your Son, and I made that album as part of a cathartic experience to really get past the death of my father that happened when I was a young kid. And that resonated with him a lot, to the point where, he wanted to listen to more and wanted to, put it out. And so I'm just, it's a perfect storm, I guess, is what I can say about it. Hanging out with local cats here like Pike, Romero, and then just putting music out and having people notice it, and me being on a cover, which is completely surreal, and now a label, you know, listens to the tunes and likes and signs me, and now we're just creating more music, and now I'm playing a show with Thundercat. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It built quickly.
It
did.
It
That's
built
what I felt
quickly.
too. Like the first time I found out who you were, it was you were showing a video at the Lofts.
Oh
It was the Coroner.
Yeah,
video.
Coroner. Yeah, shot by Malcolm.
Yeah, and I was there tonight. It was such a cool video. It's really impressive.
Thanks.
And then I think it was like the next week you were on the Tucson Weekly. And it was like,
Yeah.
oh, that was the guy who was at the Loft. It was just like weird. And then like, you know, it was like boom, 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 just playing a show. It was just crazy how quickly
everything,
seemed,
man,
yeah,
snowballed. So I don't know. It's definitely a lot, and it's a lot to get used to. But it's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. I mean, like this is being on stage is home. So
you feel comfortable there. Cool.
Yeah.
I was looking at. The reason I brought up Mellow Music, did you know Mr. Liff?
Yeah, no, Mr. Liff.
Alright, cool. Yeah. So I'm from Boston, so he's like the one Boston rapper that kind of made it out of there.
Yeah.
So I was excited to be around the same label.
Dude, he's dope. I got to meet him and see him with Thievery Corporation. And
okay, yeah.
They're
super underrated, you know.
Sick, man. They're sick. They're much more than like a jam band. They got flow and rhythm. And it's cool. I got to help Mr. Liff. And Acrobatic, which is
Perceptionist.
The Perceptionist. They just released an album, but it was cool to be a part of the video.
Oh no way, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So shout out to them. Shout out to Mellow Music.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you're from Chicago originally?
Yep, born and raised.
Yeah, did you
Southside.
Came here Southside Chicago?
Yep, 98 in Calumet. Yeah, buddy.
You came here for school? Or?
Yeah, I came here for school.
Okay.
I started in film, and I switched to anthropology.
Okay.
And then I dropped out in 2014 because all the money ran out. So
yeah, there you go. Well, it worked out all right for you.
Yeah, it you know, it's worked out so far so good.
Yeah,
I miss school.
Yeah,
I miss school.
Let's go back, right?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Anyone can just go back. It's really like having, you know, the amount of money and
definitely
having good credit, you know, so you know, get some subsidized loans, so you're not, you know, asked out. But but yeah, no, school is learning is fun. Having the access to knowledge, I think, is one of the reasons why where I am and why I am who I am.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, having anthropology was a big reason. You know, the study of people, learning about privilege, learning about one's agency, how one can, you know, really affect the world just through enlightenment.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was I loved school. Private institutions can be a pitfall, but you can't beat knowledge. You know, you can't beat the access to knowledge too. So I'm really thankful to be able to have attended it. Attended university.
So you stuck around.
Yep.
You know, some people, they go to school and they get out of here.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you like Tucson, being here.
Yeah.
So what is it? So comparing like Chicago and Tucson, like what kept you here, I guess?
First off, they're kind of incomparable. It's Chicago is home. It is home, but Tucson, it is a place in which has its own speed. I've never been a place that has that truly has its own speed and adheres to it 100%, 24/7 of the time.
Yeah.
And you can really see that, experience that, and feel that from Tucson locals. And it's really been, I guess, an eye-opening experience. Coming here as far as being, you know, from a city, born and raised, you know, being a person of color and coming here and being the raisin in the porridge and sort of being the black guy and experiencing this place as it continues to grow really progressively. And it is a wonderful and frightening place because we're in the heart of Arizona, and let's not sugarcoat that. That means a lot of people's rights here are forgotten. They are waylaid. I mean, covered up, cemented over, and being around people who understand that and want to sort of bring awareness to that, but break down the barriers in which curtail a lot of people, namely people of color and women, to sort of having a voice here in Tucson and around the world and around our nation. I mean, meeting those people here in Tucson, you know,
Right.
you think like Chicago's full of that, but being here in Tucson and having so many grassroots organizations and having so many people really, really, really fuck with the movement and not necessarily just like, hey, I'm here, like peace and love, like understanding what it means to be oppressed and to oppress, what it means to be a part of the system and to fight against it. You know, what it means to say, not say anything and say not my president. And it's cool to be a part of a place that is growing into that, is becoming, you know, predominantly progressive and really open-minded. So shout out to Tucson for being the amazing place it is.
Yeah, every week I feel like there's something that makes me proud of being here, you know, especially in Arizona where, you know, people have this certain, even like being from back east, you think of SB 1070, you think of these kinds of things, and that's what the state unfortunately is known for, Ohio and all these kinds of things.
I mean, the Jam Brewer, I mean, has a history of like bigotry, so I mean,
that's,
you know,
that's what you
Joe Arpaio.
Exactly.
We can go on and on.
Right. So on that, you know, you're blowing up here. Do you have any plans to eventually go out to LA or New York or, you know, relocate at some point if it keeps getting bigger? Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have plans to relocate, but Tucson's always gonna be the home base. I mean, like, one, it's like, it's affordable. So let's not get it twisted. Like, this place is extremely affordable. But also, the mindset and the people who I've met here have created this not a facade, but because facade I think is a negative connotation, but it's created a picturesque place that is home but not. I'm born and raised in Chicago, so I'm gonna bleed. I'm gonna bleed Chicago, but this place, it's honesty, yet it's naivete. It's veracity, but it's subdued nature. It's like Tucson is a contradiction in itself, but it works.
Yeah.
It works. You know, I mean, it really does. I mean, like, you have mountains all around us. We have pine trees and we have forests, but then we got desert. But then we have creeks and, you know, pools. I mean, like, this place is a natural contradiction, but it works. And I feel as though I found a home here, to whereas I'm a natural contradiction. I mean, I love to be on stage. Stage is home, you know, music is home, but crowds scare me, and, you know, I have a lot of anxiety, and so it's fun and I guess relieving to find and to be a part of a place that you can relate to and find people who can relate to you and relate to how you feel and how you want to see this world. Because I mean, like, I don't want to be a part of this world and not try to make this world a better place. I don't know. I mean, who wants to live and like make this world a shittier place? No one really. I mean,
well,
but then there are.
I think of one guy.
Right, Agent Orange. One is definitely one of them. But being the beacon of hope, being an example, I feel as though it is important, and it's definitely something that I don't take lightly. You know, I'm thankful. I mean, to be able to reach to the heights in which Tucson, my fans, me as a musician, and my fellow musicians want me to reach. Sadly enough, I do have to leave this place, but that doesn't mean I have to leave it for good, and that doesn't mean that Tucson is not in my heart. I mean, this place, it didn't create me, but it accepted me.
Right.
You know, Tucson accepted me.
Right. It will be proud when you know, go out there. I mean, it always happens, you know, when at some point they gotta leave, and you know, it's like the child's growing up.
Exactly,
you know, so
right?
You'll have support here.
Gotta spread their wings.
Exactly, you know. So on the music scene in Tucson, so how would you describe, like, say the hip hop scene, for example? Is it big? Is there a lot of hip hop there? Do you feel like it's growing, or is it?
I'd say the hip hop scene here is relevant.
Okay.
I think that is the most honest and straightforward description I can give without being, you know, too wordy. It is relevant.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of people, I feel as though, from the outside looking in, see it as contrite or not useless, but sort of nonchalant. A lot of people think us as a community, as a genre here, especially in Tucson, we're nonchalant. We do it for fun.
Okay, yeah.
You know, it's a hobby. You know, we're a part of like the memes as far as you know, this is our life, and we're just rappers. You know, trying to get tail and be famous. But there are a lot of people here, especially within the hip hop community, who do it to make a difference. And I feel as though a lot of people here follow their purpose in the community. There are many people here who identify and really embody what it means to be a local artist, but what it means to be a good artist. And I think a lot of people separate local artists and good artists as two separate things, when in actuality they're one and the same. If that person is following their path, and if that person is speaking their truth. And us as an audience, us as fans of music, we know what that sounds like. We know what that feels like. We know what that is when we see it.
Right.
And I think that's why people sort of congregate, or that's why that's why they like my music, but that's also why they like Tucson as a whole as far as the local music scene.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, regardless of if it's hip hop, if it's like psych rock, if it's, you know, Girl Ride, if it's punk, a lot of people here are authentic and are speaking, you know, their truths and are following their paths. And that's one thing that true fans of music, you know, relate to automatically.
Right. And you know that too. You recognize it when you see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's go back to your, like, what is some of the messages that you're trying to get across in your music, and have those change? Well, you said that your first album was mainly, it was catharsis for what you had gone through.
Yes.
Now for the second album, did you have a different message that you were trying to get across? Did your mind state change?
Yeah, definitely. I guess the message was less personal. To the point where, like, you know, it's not about me. The message was, this is what I learned in order to grow into the person I am now, and not necessarily focusing on myself, but focusing on humanity as a whole. So reading The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, and understanding that we are our own gods in a way. We control our own fate. We have omens that if we look around, if we pay attention, if we're aware, we'll follow and we'll understand and we will know what they mean. You know, there are instances in which life has shown me, you know, this is what you're meant to do, like music-wise. I was given an opportunity to be a part of a music video, which in turn allowed me to record my first songs, my first mixtape and album, and now in a few short years, I'm here. And it's like I don't know. It's, you stop and you think, and I stop and I think, and it's completely surreal. But this isn't the end. And so, the greatest lie one has ever believed is that he, she, or they are not in control of their own fate. And that was, I think, the most important thing I learned from reading the book and from creating this album. You know, I was in a place before this album, before From Mark Your Son, in which I felt stagnant. I felt as though I didn't have something to bring to the world. I was sort of a waste of space. But the first thing I learned, and the most important thing I learned, is that the greatest lie one has ever believed is that they are not in control of their own fate. So it was understanding that I'm my own God. If I want something, I have to go get it. You know?
It's so simple, but
it is. It's. I mean, it is simple, but it isn't, because we as humans are curtailed by our rationality, and it really stems from rational fear. You know, like, oh, I'm not gonna be liked, or like, oh, people are, you know, people are gonna vibe with me. Like, there are some fears that are irrational, and I am I'm victim to some of those irrational fears, you know, when it comes to depression and anxiety. But understanding that they are irrational and that we can control them and we can conquer them and use them to our advantage, not as, you know, a headwind, but as a tailwind. That's what I want to impart with my music. That's what I impart. That's what I try to impart as a person. I also want to say that we get by with a little help from our friends. Simple as that. I wouldn't be here without a lot of other people who believed in me and who support me. So shout out to the homies.
One last question.
Cool.
If you had the chance to go to a major label, would you do it?
Yes.
Would you? Okay.
Yes, I would.
All right.
I would. One, because I would love to see what it's like.
Okay. Yeah.
But two, I would love to say that eclectic, honest, real music made it.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Definitely.
It's not about selling out, it's not about exposure, but it is, but it isn't. It's really about I was myself and I made it. I didn't compromise, I didn't change, I grew as me, and we fucking made it. With the help of the homies around me.
Yeah.
You know, none of us ever compromised, and I feel as though that will be one of the pinnacles that we reach, hopefully within the next few years, is that we hit a major label and really, really propagate what we're about, and that is the greatest lie one has ever believed, is that he, she, or they are not in control of their own fate. I mean, like, we really, I just wouldn't be here today without understanding what that meant. I just wouldn't. I would still be on my couch in a dimly lit living room playing video games and smoking way too much weed and eating way too much Chinese food. That's where I would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'd be depressed on the couch, sitting somewhere, like, not doing shit. But we create our own path, and I don't necessarily want to leave this place worse than when I left it. I want to die knowing that I've contributed something. And sometimes, I mean, like, death comes fast enough for you not to know, and as long as someone else knows other than me, then I did my job.
Yeah. Well, you're on your way.
Hell yeah.
Alright. Cool. Yeah, that's good. Well, thank you for your time.
Nah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of the night.
Hell yeah, shall.
Yeah.
We'll smoke up, vibe out. Shout out to Congress. Woo-hoo.